submitted for the approval of the Midnight Society. I'm your host, Christopher the Rupel, and today's episode is a little bit different. I've never really done like a top 5 list. I've always done like tier maker stuff. I've always just talked about Goosebumps and stuff. So today I'm going to talk about my top 5 favorite Are You Afraid of the Dark episodes. Now, a little bit of background with me and Are You Afraid of the Dark. I'll be honest, I did not grow up watching this show. One, I was actually kind of the wrong age group for it. I believe the show started airing when I was 1. So, I wasn't old enough to really approve of it. And it's not like I didn't watch Nickelodeon at that time. I did watch a ton of Snick. I was about to say, I loved Kenan and Kel. I loved all that and everything in between. But once it got to Are You Afraid of the Dark, I was out of the room. I was terrified of that intro. I mean, I think a lot of people are more afraid of the intro than the actual series itself. You can ask that to anybody. Also, today's episode brought to you by Capri Sun. Ripped open and poured into a glass, and some cherry vodka. That's good. But yeah, I did not grow up enjoying Are You Afraid of the Dark. I was too scared to watch it. I think most of my friends are kind of in the same boat as me. But once I actually started listening to a couple different podcasts. It started with The Big Orange Couch. If you haven't listened to them, I strongly recommend them, especially if you love 90s Nickelodeon. They are a blast. They're very funny, very well researched. Just overall really cool guys. Definitely recommend them. And also Up All Night, another kind of spooky podcast. They went over all the episodes of Are You Afraid of the Dark. They're now doing the Goosebumps series. And also, very legit, very awesome podcast. Now, without them, I probably wouldn't have even blinked twice about going back and watching Are You Afraid of the Dark. But mostly because of Big Orange Couch, I went back and was like, you know what, maybe it's time to watch it. Paramount Plus has just come out. This was like back in 2021 when I decided to actually get the subscription to it. And I was like, screw it, let's try it out. Let's watch Are You Afraid of the Dark instead of, Rugrats and everything else that's on there. And I ended up really liking the series. I thought it was really freaking cool. Granted, I have not seen every single episode. So that is like my big disclaimer here. This is my top 5 of right now. Maybe this list will change one of these days. But as of right now, this is my top 5 favorites. For instance, there is no season 6 or 7 episodes on Paramount Plus. Which I find hilarious. Because why don't they have those? I mean, yeah, they're terrible. I've heard nothing but bad things about them. There are some gems in there, apparently. I've heard that, what's it called? Vampire Town's a very good episode. Jake the Snake. I have watched Jake the Snake upon recommendation from Big Orange Couch. That episode is wild. And for what it's also worth, I have not seen every single episode because it's missing a lot of the original series episodes as well. There's no Dream Girl on Paramount Plus for some reason. I don't know why. I was about to say, I feel like that's a very important episode to have. Like, that's the episode that literally inspired M. Night Shyamalan to make The Sixth Sense. Like, he literally saw that and was like, I think I can do something similar. And he wrote Sixth Sense, and now he's famous. That's how it all began. All thanks to a little Are You Afraid of the Dark? But I digress. So, there are a couple episodes I haven't seen, unfortunately. So, this list might change in the future. Probably will. I mean, I always have very changing taste. But these are my top 5 favorite ones as of what I've seen of the series on Paramount Plus. That's not going to fit on the thing. I'm going to put the clickbait-ass title of the 5 best Are You Afraid of the Dark episodes. Ooh, because I love clickbait titles like that. And why not? So, starting off with my number 5. Number 5 for me is Dangerous Soup, The Tale of Dangerous Soup. This one is a surprisingly good episode. I actually watched this one really recently. More out of morbid curiosity. Like, I didn't start finishing it up. Like, I started watching all of Are You Afraid of the Dark last year. I stopped for a bit, and now I'm, like, coming back into it for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's because it's spooky season, and I'm like, I don't really need more Goosebumps. I think I want some more Are You Afraid of the Dark? Because, you know, I hate to say it, it's kind of the better show of the two. But I would rather read a Goosebumps book over an Are You Afraid of the Dark book. I'll be very honest with that. But I digress. The Tale of Dangerous Soup is one that I've, like I said before, just watched recently. And honestly, was pretty amazed by. Like, I'm not going to lie. I heard the title of this one, and I was like, Dangerous Soup? What's... Okay, it's like, this is going to be about a bowl of porridge. Not porridge, but chowder. That's going to come out and attack people, or what? It's a ridiculous title. And then you find out it's a Frank story. And 50% of the time with Frank stories, it has a very specific character that we all know and love. A Mr. Dr. Vink, played by Aaron Tager. May he rest in peace. This story, like, I don't want to go too deep into it, but the basic plot of it is Dr. Vink has his own restaurants where he's the lead chef. And he has this amazing soup that he charges $100 per bowl, and only one per person. And these people, they clearly buy it. I'm like, wow. $100 for a bowl of soup? One of these days, maybe. It's gonna have human in it. Just watch. It's gonna happen. Ain't that right, crow outside? But he has a couple workers who find out about the secret of the soup. I don't want to give it away, but we'll just say it is a gargoyle statue. And there's not enough horror in general with gargoyles in it. I'm just going to say it. There's like one Goosebumps short story, and there's like an episode, not an episode, but a segment from Tales from the Dark Side. Ends with a really good gargoyle story. But there aren't that many horror gargoyle stories, and this one, pretty top notch. Just going to say it. Also, I would be an idiot if I didn't mention there's a very specific actress in this one. You may know her from Scream. That's right, Drew Barrymore. No, I'm just kidding. Neve Campbell. She is screaming her head off in this episode and really earning herself that Scream Queen title. And yeah, I was about to say, she gives an amazing performance. I know a lot of the times you'll see like a before they were famous person on either Are You Afraid of the Dark or Goosebumps, and they give like a very mediocre performance. This one, top notch, really high on there. I was about to say one of the better kid actors, well, teen actors. That's the thing with Are You Afraid of the Dark. They're allowed to have teenagers who can act versus the kids in most Goosebumps books and stories who can barely act their way out of a paper bag. Not to be mean, but that's one of the reasons why I'm not a huge fan of Goosebumps episodes versus Are You Afraid of the Dark. We'll get to there eventually one of these days, but I don't think today's the day I'm going to talk about that. But no, that's my number 5. I really want to try that soup. I'm just going to say, I want some soup. I want some of that soup. It's getting chilly enough where I can actually wear this without feeling uncomfortable. I love it. My number 4 is The Tale of the Dark Music from Season 1. This episode is one of those kind of infamous ones where you either love it or you hate it. Most people tend to like this one, but I do hear a lot of people kind of insult it. It's kind of cheesy. A lot of the effects look kind of lame. The kid actor in this one, he's a little bit on the... I feel kind of zombified. Kind of a weaker actor, but honestly, I really like this episode. Maybe it's just the grim ending to it all. Maybe it's because it's one of 2 stories by Eric. And he actually does a good job. You know, it's funny. People make fun of Eric, but he has 2 pretty decent stories. Just saying, Eric, he's the big Melvin, but I like his 2 stories that he has this series. Well, season. He only lasted a season. No one liked him. Person who played Eric, I apologize, but no one likes your character. I'm sorry. Now, there's probably Eric diehards out there who are like, dark music and Jake and the Leprechaun. Fuck yeah! And we're all like, calm down. Jake and the Leprechaun? It's decent. Especially when you look at the rest of the first season. Just saying. There's some real stinkers in the first season. And Jake and the Leprechaun is not a stinker compared to the real bad ones from the first season. Actually, no, the first season didn't have too many bad ones. I digress. Oh my god, I'm getting off topic as always. But The Tale of Dark Music. Pretty basic story. We have a boy and his family just moving into a new house after their great uncle has passed away. And the boy finds that there's something mysterious in the basement. And, not to spoil anything, but he kills somebody. He kills a kid. Coda's dead. He killed James Hetfield Jr. But I digress. So, why do I enjoy this one so much? Well, for one, it's a pretty dark story, in all honesty. Like, it's overall, like, in the first season, there's not a lot of really creepy episodes. And this one's probably the creepiest of the bunch. Like, I mean, you have Laughing in the Dark and Twisted Claw. Like, those are, and this one are probably, like, the only ones that are, like, truly, really scary. Versus the rest kind of being creepy more than anything. This one just has some really great moments, like when he's just in the basement playing random music, and depending on which one it is, it's pretty creepy. There's the skeleton Carney who's just like, "Come on and play!" Oh my god, that is a shit-scaringly scary moment right there, okay? That's shit-pants scary, okay? That's all I gotta say. And then you have the giant doll that is just creepy. And then when she screams when she gets shoved back into the freaking wine cellar or whatever, terrifying moment. This one's probably the creepiest episode on my list, except for maybe my number 1. We'll get there. But I really do enjoy this episode, and it's got a very grim, very creepy ending that makes you go, wait, is he gonna do that again? Oh god. Oh. I think because of the ambiguous ending, well, ambiguous, I feel like they had to add in, he didn't actually kill his sister. I love that. I love that in the end, it's like, he didn't actually kill her, guys, don't worry, she's not dead. Nickelodeon made us say this. But, I don't know, just really enjoy this one overall. It's one I can watch anytime and just really enjoy it. On to number 3. This one is probably going to surprise everybody because it is never going to be on anybody else's list of top 5 best Are You Afraid of the Dark episodes, but is The Tale of the Full Moon. This one's another Frank story, and it's not the last Frank story. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a Frank head. I like Frank stories a lot, but this one, pretty spot on one, even though it doesn't really feel like a Frank story, I'll be honest. This one is a very campy story about 2 pet detectives who discover a monster has been eating the pets that they've been trying to find. What kind of monster, you ask? Oh, I don't know. What comes out at a full moon? A mummy? It's a werewolf. It's a werewolf, guys. It's scary because it's a werewolf. Ow, werewolves of London. Yeah, it's a werewolf. I hope I didn't spoil it with full moon in the title. But no, honestly, this is a great episode if you love a campy, weird aesthetic. Like, this episode feels like it's almost directed, or maybe even the set design was by John Waters of all people. Because it just feels like a weird 50s suburban look. But it feels off because of so much weird shit. It's an overly enjoyable episode for me. I think it's hilariously well done. And honestly, the werewolf in this one, some people make fun of it. And it's like, oh, it looks like a cheap Halloween mask. But honestly, I think it's creepy. I think it's a really good mask. I think it's just honestly a creepy looking mask. And like, the freaking actor's tongue just like, all up in there. Ooh. Probably tastes like sweat, I'm not gonna lie. And, oh god, mask wet. Oh. Don't like wearing masks in general, so that one, that's what terrifies me the most, I guess. But no, in all honesty, I really do love this episode. It's kind of that classic take of the kid thinks there's a neighbor who is a monster, and then the monster is gonna pork his mom if he's not careful. I'm not gonna give away the twist ending on this one, but it's a good twist ending. Also ends on a happy note. Yeah! Mom gets laid! That's a happy note right there. But I don't know. It's just one of those episodes I really enjoy. I think it's just it balances a good amount of scary and also frights. So it's good. It's a good, perfect balance. I like spooky, but I also like being laughing, and just the campiness. It's a very camp episode, honestly. Like, if it wasn't so campy, I probably wouldn't like this one as much. I love the ridiculous moment when the mom is, like, reminiscing about the dead father, and, like, this cheesy soap opera sounding music comes on. Like, I love that part so much. Like, it's so campy. It's camp. Like, why lie to ourselves? It's camp. If that's not camp, I don't know what camp is. And I'm not going to admit to that. Number 2. My number 2 is going to come to no surprise for anyone. Is the tale of the Ghastly Grinner. I'm the Joker, but not the Joker. Clown Prince of Crime. Oh, Batman. I don't know why I did that. He's not the Joker. The tale of the Ghastly Grinner. I'm not gonna lie, I literally watched this episode for the first time today. And I'm not gonna lie, I was watching this one and was just like immediately, alright episode, impress me. There's no way this is gonna be on my list. This is gonna be on like the runner-ups, if anything. But no, I ended up being amazed with this episode. It has a little bit of that kind of campiness that the previous episode, Full Moon, has. Like, there's some really funny, weird moments. The nerdy girl in the class, oh my god, what was her name? Hopper's, that's such a weird name. Like, how she always has to say her full name to the lead kid, and is always like, yeah, I'm a bit of a nerd, I don't have much of a sense of humor. Like, she's so freaking funny. Like, I don't know why, she's great. Like, you have a bit of campiness from that. You have another thing that I really love. I'm a huge comic book reader. Like, I'm not, like, obsessed or anything like that. Like, I'm not, like, one of those people who, like, will go to every single comic book movie or anything. I'm a legit comic book reader. Don't ask me about new stuff. I'm terrible about keeping up. I know. I'm bad. I know. Yep. But it does mix those kind of things. And also, the lead kid, starting off, is, like, rejected by so many, like, different art and comic book companies, probably because he's a kid. But I fully get that, honestly. Like, I've been in that same boat as a writer, not as an artist. I can't draw for the life of me. But as a writer, I've had my submissions rejected, and I know how that feels. So that kind of gives me a personal connection with this kid. Also, we kind of look a little bit alike with our greasy long hair and almost always wearing black. Just saying. Just because I have orange on doesn't mean there's not black on here. Come on. Black and orange. Also, Nickelodeon shirt. I mean, come on. This is my only Nickelodeon shirt. But I digress. I really do overall enjoy this episode. It has a creepy tone. Like, the Grinner himself is a freaky character who's just, like, always has this terrifying grimace on his face. It's like a very Joker-esque, or the man who smiles. That's the story that he's based on, right? Like, it has a bit of that in there, and just unsettling, and like the blue gunk that he spits out, and then like the people who become possessed by the Ghastly Grinner, who also have like these terrifying, like, sunken in eyes, terrifying grimaces, and just freaking always like spitting out this blue crap. It's just gross and unsettling. But not gonna lie, it really adds to the tension. Guy is creepy. I was about to say, he's honestly the best of the 3 clowns from all of Are You Afraid of the Dark? Because there's 3 clowns in total, right? There's Laughing in the Dark with Zebo, Crimson Clown, and yeah, Ghastly Grinner. And I think Ghastly Grinner's the scariest of the bunch. Zebo is scary in concept, but he doesn't really do much. And Crimson Clown, not an episode I'm a big fan of, honestly. It's that kid. It's that lead kid. Well, not even lead kid. I guess he is kind of the lead, because he's the one who's being haunted by the Crimson Clown. But he's just too much of a piece of shit. God, I hate that kid. But no. Love this one. The only reason... Like, this one came really close to taking my top spot. But there's one aspect of this episode I do not care for. And that one thing is... randomly throughout the episode, there's, scene changes, and they'll have, like, a little wipe with, like, random pieces of art, the Ghastly Grinner and stuff. And for some reason, every single time this happens, there's a random... What is that? Guitar note! Like, what is that? What is this? The Mystery Files of Shelby Woo? Surf Rock really doesn't go with this. I mean, maybe it does. I mean, superheroes. I mean, Batman. No, Batman. No, leader. I don't know where I'm going with that. But no, I overall do really enjoy this episode. If it wasn't for some other things as well, this one would probably take my top spot in all honesty. But I really, really, really love my number one. But before I get there, I have a couple runner-ups that I'd like to bring up. The Tale of the Hatching. This one has a really cool concept, but I just don't think it's executed that well. Like, I don't know, like, and the kids are kind of boring. Like, there's some droll moments in this one, but I really love the effects. I love the creepy eggs and stuff, and I love that, just playing a Game Boy can hurt these guys. The Tale of the Shiny Red Bicycle. This one I think is phenomenal. I think it's really good. It's very heartfelt, but it's just a little too depressing for my taste. I think overall it's just too sad. Like, it's not one, like, when I think of my top 5, there are going to be episodes that I want to go back and rewatch. And Shiny Red Bicycle is one that I don't want to go back and rewatch because, honestly, I do tear up a lot during this one. It's really sad. It's, especially really tough when you've lost friends at that age. Like, I mean, obviously, I've never had that personal experience of trying to save someone and they end up dying, but I have had friends who've passed at young ages, and it's honestly really hard. It's a good episode, not gonna lie. I could even maybe say it's like maybe number 6 on my list, but I just think it's a little too sad for me. It really is. But it is a great story, and I do recommend it to those in the right mood. The Tale of Dead Man's Float. I think this is a very uneven episode. It's very, I feel like I would be, made fun of for not putting this on my top 5, because everyone loves this one. But honestly, I think it's only memorable because of the monster more than anything. It is a terrifying design. It is this red, ghoulish character with, a fucking beard. Ugh. It's creepy looking. Very terrifying. But overall, the episode is very uneven. I think the first 2/3 are not that great. It's the finale, when they're actually fighting this creature, that really keeps you going, oh yeah, let's go, yeah! Really rooting for them. But overall, not a great episode. I think it's very uneven. If it wasn't for that ending and this terrifying creature, I don't think anyone would really care about it. Let's be honest with ourselves on that one. And my last one for the runner-ups is Tale of Super Specs. I think this one is a very good episode, but I just can't really... I don't know why. I just can't put my finger on why I can't put it on my top 5, honestly. I love Sardo. This is the first episode with Sardo, and it's honestly the best episode with Sardo. I don't know, there's just something about it that, I really love about it. I love the twist ending. I love, what's it called? Oh my god, Weeds. He is so funny throughout the whole thing. But, I don't know, just something about it. It's really good. It's really well done, but there's something about it that just doesn't work for me. Overall, to be the best. But I do like it. I do think it's a good episode. I think, if anything, it might just be because it's kind of a cheaper episode where you're just seeing these people in black morph suits going like putties from Power Rangers and just being maybe if they did something actually creepy besides just appearing? I don't know. It's a decent episode, but it's not one that I can really go top 5. But I think it's time to talk about our number 1 choice for today. This is no surprise to anyone who knows me. It is The Tale of Midnight Madness. I absolutely love this episode. And it's for a lot of reasons besides it just being a really good one. It's also kind of a personal note as well. Cue the sad music. Oh god. Oh, here comes the sadness. Well, when I started watching Are You Afraid of the Dark, I was working at a second-run movie theater. And during that time, we knew that the building was up for sale. We knew the end was inevitable, but we didn't ever really want to admit it. We would keep trying to bring more people in and just try to have a good time while it lasted. And unfortunately, it closed early this year. And honestly, that was the best job I've ever had. My boss, she's an amazing person. And I'm sad and to this day that I don't get to work with her anymore. The people not just even the people we worked with, but the people we actually helped were all amazing and just really good people. And it saddens me that I don't get to work there anymore. I mean, I do still work at a movie theater. I still have a great time. I really do love my job, but it'll never be the same as the little theater that could. But no, this episode kind of has that same effect almost, where they're trying to save their theater, trying to save the place that they love working. You know, I obviously don't have a love interest like in that one. I definitely don't. But I do definitely have a very special place with this episode along with me, because it's kind of paralleled. And I won't lie, I started watching this episode and I was like, this has a lot of similarities. I mean, my name is Christopher, and the manager there is named Christoph. I'm not balding as far as I can tell. I mean, hey, maybe I'm losing a little bit at the right here, but nothing crazy. But and yeah, it's about to say it's just an episode that really rings true to me. It's just an episode I will always watch. I'll always love watching, and it'll always make me think of my favorite job. And that's why it's my favorite, honestly. Like, it's not just because it has an amazing monster. It's not because Dr. Vink is amazing in this one. It's not because all the actors and characters in this one are freaking realistic and great. Well, those are all really good things about there, but yeah. It's because it's honestly an episode that really resonates with me. It's an episode that I'll never forget. It's one that's close to home for me. And I don't think there'll ever be a television episode of anything that could ever relate to me that much. And yeah, I'm tearing up here. Oh man, but that's my number one. I didn't even talk about the episode itself. I just went over why I loved it, and hopefully no one goes, "Ah, loser's crying. What a loser. Oh, he lost something he loved. What a fucker." Oh, yes, I am a fucker, but for other reasons. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed my list. I would love to know what your guys' top 5 favorite episodes of Are You Afraid of the Dark are. I would love to hear them, in all honesty. I love the show so much that I just can't help but reminisce about it. Like, I've been trying to get more people to watch it with me of my friend group, and a lot of them have been really enjoying it. I made the mistake and showed them the Tale of the Manaha because I thought Weiss would get a laugh out of it, our indigenous friend, and he definitely got pissed at it, and I don't blame him. But oh my god, that's a funny episode. That'd be in the so bad it's good episodes for me, honestly. But hey, if you like if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to like, subscribe, and as I said, leave a comment about your favorites. And if you want to support the show even more, $1 a month on patreon.com/speakingofwhich gets you early episodes of our podcast, gets you our show notes. This episode has show notes, so I will definitely be posting them on there. You also get a bonus episode of just audio every week, and this is just $1. You can pay what you want, but it's just $1 to get it, so I think it's a pretty good deal. I'd like to thank my patrons, Trey at Eartosaurus on Twitter, and Luis at Peekydoo1 on YouTube, or at First Left Hander, drop a E on Hander. I came up with that name, just saying. Follow them on their respective platforms. They're both awesome people, and I'd love to see more people join us on the Patreon. There's plenty of other things on there. There's also the exclusive Discord that I barely use because I don't really do Discord that much. I hate admitting that. I shouldn't have admitted that. Well, I hope people don't mind. I would use it more if there were more people. There. Yeah, see? Just saying. There's that, Well, thank you for joining me, and guys, as always, stay spooky, and, God, I'm sad now. I officially call this meeting closed. It's not dark enough for me to go completely black, but I should just go fade.